Hello, I am Purple Tickman, and today we're going to be checking out into the pit. So let's go ahead and start a game here, and I already have one going, just so I could get through the tutorial and kind of figure out how the game works. So, just immediately, the art style for this game, I absolutely love. I mean, look at this, like, gothic, very dark, very atmospheric. This is the hub world. So this is where, there's like a little market here. This is, I believe, where you buy runes, which I will explain in a second here. And this is where you buy keys. Again, I'll explain all of this pretty much as soon as we get into the main area. I'm not exactly sure what this area is. What do you do? The enchanter. I've not unlocked them yet. So just real quick before we jump into one of the dungeons in this game, the way that this world works is you unlock more items within each shop, and also you have to unlock each shop over time by rescuing villagers within the dungeons themselves. So if you look in the top right corner of the screen, you'll see the village, which is where I currently am, and the number of villagers rescued is 3 of 45. So I believe unlocking all of the shops is done at 30 villagers, and each shop will give you more items the more villagers that you unlock, up to 45. And you can talk to all these people. You just ring the bell and it pulls up. You can see like a little dialogue box. This is the ritual keeper. He's the guy who helps us with in the dungeons that we go into. As you can see, so you're still alive. I shall not congratulate you. You must grow stronger and wiser for you to find the alderman and conquer the pit. Mark well what I've told you. So the alderman is kind of like the big bad of this game. I'm not sure where the pit comes from. Basically, the people in this village were using it to prosper. However, they don't really explain it too much, whether they're using it to get items or whatever. But the alderman is, from what I've gathered, like obsessed with getting deeper and deeper into the pit and the different realms that you can dive into. And he's just telling me about the different shops. So the alderman basically is the one who's gone the deepest into the pit to get the most amount of power, because each floor of the pit gives you lets you get stronger and stronger. And villagers have followed him into the pit to the point where there's pretty much no villagers anymore, and that's why we have to rescue them. And we are an outsider. So now you can see here, this is how selecting a dungeon works. So you have your key, which you get from the key maker, and that is the base dungeon. So we're going to be going into the Obsidian Forest, where we've already gotten all of the villagers, but I need to grind more items. I believe I need more ember and more gold to buy the next key. And these are the support runes. So this is what you buy from the rune maker. You get 4, and you just put them in these slots. I actually need the gold one. And these all give you just straight buff. So I start with a small amount of motes of renewal. So these motes here, renewal, luck, and blood, are in dungeon resources, basically. When you leave, you do not bring these with you, but they're used to buy stuff within the dungeons themselves. These 3, gold, insight, and fire, are what you bring out, and that's what you buy stuff with. Which is why I need to go back in and get more gold, so I can buy a key to dungeon 2. So we'll confirm our ritual. We do some necromancy to open a portal into the pit, and then we just jump right in. And now we'll be able to see the roguelite style of the game here. So there's 4 altars on each floor, and then each altar has 2 rooms associated with it, which are randomly generated. And once you beat all 4, you can dive deeper into the pit. But you always start with grabbing a defensive power and then a spell, which are basically kind of like the guns in this game, or like they're what you use to fire projectiles, which are also randomly generated, 1 for each arm. So let's see what we have here. Final barrier, reduce incoming damage when you're at low health. Reduce incoming damage by a small amount, just period. Replenish health with an enemy dies. So this is probably my favorite Grim Reward. And you can see our hands here, so let's go ahead and get a left hand. Shotgun, really good. Cannon I have not used yet, so I might actually grab this one. Needle and shotgun I've both used, both very, very good. So let's grab cannon. I'm not familiar with this one. All right, and you can see like once we have a power, it has a certain range that it goes to and a certain fire rate. So let's grab another power here and get into some of these dungeons here. Normally I like to go with a long range and a close range, so I would grab something like shotgun if it was available, or swarm. Normally because they either have a wider spread or they fire a lot faster. Fires long range high power projectile. I think with this one I'm gonna go with needle, because like I said, it's just, as you can see, pretty good generally. Decent range, and something that I also like is you can just kind of look up and see what each room is, so you can actually prioritize rooms. Like none of these are healing rooms, but if there was, like, I could go dive into the dungeons and fight until I needed to heal and then come back out and heal, which are basically free rooms. But like I said, I need gold and I need fire, which is that one over there. So let's go ahead and get into the Chamber of Wealth. And then once you're in, you have to destroy keystones, and then this is where all of the fighting happens in this game. You can see they just kind of give you enemies immediately. Alright, and then, so once you're in a dungeon, you don't have to defeat the enemies, but it's definitely recommended because destroying keystones takes time. And you do not want to get hit, and then if I can find any, there's also motes on the ground, as you can see here. I just picked up a mote of gold. So the motes are all based on the type of room that you picked, right? So I picked a Chamber of Wealth, so I get motes of gold. Well, this is like Doom. It is very similar to Doom, at least in like the very surface level. With the way that it looks, or like this style of genre. I don't know if if there's like a Doom-like or a Quake-like genre, but this would definitely fit in that. I want to see if I can get over here. I can. What is up here? Nothing. But pretty much the whole goal is to, at least for me, what I've been doing is getting all of the motes, which thankfully it does tell you both at the top in a brief message and also on the right corner, like upper right corner, Chamber of Wealth, all motes collected, and the number of keystones you have to destroy, because as soon as you destroy the last keystone, whether you've collected all of the motes or not, you do end the level immediately. So you have to be aware of that, and then every time you beat a level, also all 4 altar rooms on this, you will get some sort of power up. These are all randomly generated. I haven't seen anything that changes the powers that you have. They just like upgrade them or add, like this one makes it do more damage, this one adds bleeding, and there will always be one for left, right, and then body is kind of what I've been calling this, but you're basically like your shield stuff. Increased damage to enemies under, so Executioner. I like having one different effects like bleed or poison on each hand, especially because there is a bonus that lets you do more damage to enemies that have 2 afflictions or more, and weapons can only have 1 affliction type at a time from what I've seen. I don't know if that's something that can change eventually, maybe with like a support rune that you would come into the game with. Like, I just haven't seen anything like that. I've also pretty much only seen like somewhat standard things, so like poison or like your general damage over time, types of status effects, poison, bleed, things like that. I've also seen, I think this game calls it weakness, which basically just lowers the amount of damage that enemies do, and I've seen a slow that I don't remember what that is called. It might just be called slow, but I haven't seen anything too crazy. All stuff most people who play games pretty regularly will be familiar with, and I have all of the modes, so we can go ahead and get out of here. I think it looks cool. Is it an indie game? Yes, this is an indie game. This is called Into the Pits. I'll go ahead and get our power up here. Increased range projectiles in our left hand. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have a weakness debuff, but it would replace slicing bolts, which is our poison buff right now. Something I have noticed is whatever hand has my long range projectile will almost always get the additional range buff so that they can go even further, even though they're already the long range projectiles. Pretty much go across the entire screen. But I don't really want any of these, which is a good time to show you can either refuse the power so you don't have to take anything. I haven't done this, it's kind of weird, but you can also, it does take insight, which is a resource you take out of the dungeon with you. So I don't think I would do this, but you can refresh with modes of renewal, which I come into each dungeon with 10 from a support rune. It costs 5, and then it just changes them to, you know, other random stuff, and it's more expensive each time you use it. Projectiles, ooh, extra damage. This one is great. Increased fire rate is also really good, but the higher damage one is something that I always like. And so these are all dungeon resources. So this is luck, which I'm going to go for because luck actually increases your chance of you can use it as a currency, but it also increases your chance of getting higher quality stuff, so like rares or things of that nature. Make sure I don't run into anything here. So it's good to have, if you don't know what to grab, just go ahead and go with luck. You can see once you, if you're not being surrounded, you can kind of shred, you know, most enemies in a one-on-one fight. I tend to also, something that I think is really cool is these little booster pads. They're not in every level, or I guess each room, but they do show up pretty often. I think they're super fun. Grab this. Is that all motes? Yep. So let's get out of here. Typically what I'll do is I'll just run around and kill all of the enemies. And then go back through and do all the keystones and make sure I have all the motes just so I don't miss anything. Alright, so we can curse now, which is pretty good. When an enemy dies while afflicted, the affliction can spread to nearby foes. This is also pretty good. Projectiles do extra damage. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, where you do more damage with additional affliction. So I'm going to grab this now, even though I only have the one affliction, because afflictions pop up a lot more often than that particular skill does. And let's do luck again. So having at least 10 blood gems does unlock an ability called I think it's Embrace Death or something along those lines. I haven't quite figured out how to use it yet. But that is primarily what blood gems are for, I've noticed. Take you out. Another thing is, for guns that do fire pretty fast, you can run out of energy. You can see the glow on my hand as I run out. I'll start to fire a lot slower. Not all motes just yet, but we have at least one more of these to do. Ah, here it is. Okay, so this is probably an ambush and final mote. Yep, alright, we're out. And a lot of these individual rooms are pretty fast. You can see I'm beating most of these in about a minute or so. Projectiles, left-hand plant a seed. Ooh, explode on death. Or more bleed damage. I'm going to take that one. And then once we beat all 4 altars, this opens up and we can either return to the village, where we just keep all of the resources that we've collected, or you can dive deeper into the pit, and each pit goes down a certain number of floors. Like Obsidian Fortress goes down to floor or depth 5, which is the heart of the zone, and I'm just checking to see what I have here. This should... Ooh, blood magic. I actually haven't seen this chamber yet. But at the heart of the dungeon, or the bottom floor essentially, is where you would fight the boss. I'm going to go either until I get to the boss or I die. Destroy the keystone. Upgrade your powers. Okay, so it looks like we get a power upgrade in exchange for some health. Upgrade a random power by 1. Sure, I'll take it. Why not? And we upgraded Persecution. Sweet. Wow, it looks like you can just do it a bunch of times. Well, I like these rooms. They don't show up too often, but these rooms that are basically free. Blood magic. Survivor rooms are also free when you're saving villagers. There's also, I haven't seen one yet, but healing rooms. Ah, here we go. So frost is what slows, but we need to grab this for the bonus. A lot of luck, some renewal. Oh, that's pretty... Everything is luck or renewal. Well, I'll do a renewal room, and then we'll do luck for the rest. Actually, we'll do luck first, because we'll get better stuff. Ooh. Just stand in the corner. This is where this game is like pretty different from Doom. Like normally in Doom, you don't ever want to stop moving. This game is a little more forgiving on that front. Like with how the different areas are set up, it's pretty easy to find a spot where you can, hide from enemies. 3 keystones in this room. And just kind of snipe, especially with melee enemies. If they're not crowding you, you're pretty much good to just stand back and take them out. Well, that amazing. This was Indie by this guy. It looks excellent. Yeah, this game does look really well. I don't think this is a solo dev project. I think this was made by Extra Damage, Projectiles Compares. I think this was made by a team of people, but even so, it's absolutely phenomenal. you know Starbucks sandwiches are frozen? I did know that. Most of the food there is frozen. Like, I think all of their pastries are as well. That doesn't make it any less average in flavor. I don't think Starbucks food is particularly delicious. Get out of here. But it's alright. I definitely, whenever I do like road trips and stuff, I have to get up at like 7 in the morning. I'm definitely not getting up to make coffee and breakfast. I swing by Starbucks to get, you know, a spinach pastry and a latte. It's good when you're hungry, for sure. What is over here? Nothing. These things are like little mines, I guess, or bombs. They're kind of like explosive barrels. This game's version of explosive barrels. So they hurt everything, like including you. Alright, last little bit here. Take these out. Sweet. Hope I meant you have to get good playing Doom. I played most of the okay, we're replacing balls. Have an increased crit chance. Enemies afflict. I'm gonna grab this one. I'm going with kind of like an affliction-based build right now. We'll go grab a renewal. I played the first Doom, like Doom 95 or whatever, and I played the two most recent, so like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. And I would say I'm like decent at the Doom games, so that probably translates well to this game and the other games of this genre that I play on this channel. You can see like I'm jumping to avoid these traps. This is a spike trap right here. I haven't been able to like lure enemies onto these. Let's see if I can do it right now. I don't know if it hurts them. It does. Okay. But like all of the, I believe all of the environmental traps will damage enemies, including the flowers are also an environmental trap. But that's just like why I've been jumping. I'm not jumping randomly. I do that sometimes, but not what I've been doing here. Where is the... So in areas that don't have super high walls, you can actually... Oop. I stopped explaining something. You can see the lights for the different keystones, so you know where to go. There's the moat. That's the last one, and we can get out of here. Never had it before, but I got some expired frozen ones, and they were like free and not really expired. Increased fire rate. Projectiles do extra damage. When you are poisoned, your damage is increased. I don't really ever want to get poisoned, so let's not take that one. Increased rate of fire. None of these are super good, so I'm glad I went and got some of these renewal motes. Inflict poison. Poison enemies or projectiles have increased hit chance. Kind of what we're stuck with here. Every bag isn't a winner, you know. But we're on to depth 3. I do need a healing room, I think. What is my health at? Yeah, I could use a healing room. It's also... Get out of there. It's also a free room. Like, you're in and out. What is... So that's... I think this is a healing room. Yes, Chamber of Healing. What am I giving up for it? Some fire? That sucks because I do need... Okay, so there's one over there. Perfect. I need the heal. And like I said, with these free rooms, they're like doubly good because you also get... Nice. An upgrade when you're done. as you'll see. Like, come in, get a heal, and then get our next upgrade. So I do like to do these pretty much first on a new floor, just because like now I can go into the next area with another upgrade. Projectiles, so Executioner, and then Chancer and Rage. And Rage is really good, and you can get some pretty strong Enrage buffs. Like, there's one where you have a chance to Enrage every time you grab a moat. I'm just going to take the Executioner for now. I think I want, so we have fire here, gold here. What are you? I think this is a power room. This is also, Chambers of Respite are also free rooms, so we're going to take this. And this gives you a little bit of lore. Doubtless you've now descended, or are about to descend, to the Fungal Hollows, a dream world of terrible decomposition, a taste of that black lair beneath the rotting leaves of our dead forest. And they also have a chest that gives you normally a random type of moat. I'm not sure if it's the same type as the one paired with it. I think this was paired with fire. But Respite rooms, definitely worth it. Eternal was better. Eternal was definitely different. I don't really know if I liked Eternal better than Doom 2016. But I also haven't made it all the way through Eternal. I have like, I think I'm on like one of the last chapters or levels or whatever. Projectiles from right hand inflict additional damage on crits. Or we can be faster. Let's go with being a speedy boy. Okay, so fire and gold, and let's go with, we have a decent amount of luck. Let's get some more renewal. Wow, it said like we were going to be like just like one extra speed or whatever. It is noticeable how much faster I am with just the one haste buff. Whoa, get out of here. This is why I like to have a long range and at least a medium, if not a short, because the long range has a very, very slow fire rate. Normally once you upgrade them a little bit, especially if you get one of the just like straight damage increases, like the plus 20% damage or whatever, the long range spells tend to one-shot most like lower level enemies that we'll see in like these dungeons, like especially the melee enemies. So they're nice to have to clear out a lot of those things. What did I miss? There's moats somewhere. I think it's just up here. Yep, grab these and take you out. All moats collected. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Doom is always going to be a good game. Just killing enemies is fun. Oh yeah, I mean, all the Doom games I've played, I've enjoyed. They're just a great time in general. Enemy is inflicted, spread affliction. Ooh. Projectiles from left hand, additional damage. I think I already have a thing that boosts crit damage, so we'll go ahead and take this. Yeah, I love the Doom games. Let's go. What? God, I wish I could see the resources I have. I don't know if there we go. There is an inventory system. So I need at least 20 motes of gold, and I think I need 20 motes of fire. So we're going to do gold here. To unlock the next key, I think it's 20 of both in 3 villagers, which I've already gotten. You get that just from, like, if you beat the first dungeon. Like I said, I've beaten this first dungeon at this point. I hate these guys. So some of the enemies you can see here, speaking of Doom Eternal, have a shield, and they're like super annoying to deal with, which is pretty much why I always like to grab some sort of affliction, because you can deal damage to them with afflictions. Like, even if my weapons themselves aren't doing a ton of damage, you either have to get behind them, shoot their feet, which is something that is easier said than done. But if you just shoot them enough, they will get afflicted, and then the bleed or the poison or whatever you have will take care of them eventually. Take you out, and then we'll go this way. Go ahead and clear out this other keystone. That's everyone here. Not quite all of the moats yet. Ooh, dodge that. I'm missing one somewhere. There it is. It's always one. We have all of the moats, so I actually don't need to kill them. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here. The music is some of the best as well. Oh yeah, I mean, I think Mick Gordon is the composer for the Doom games. That guy is just a genius. Projectiles have a chance higher crits against slowed enemies, which is so perfect. This is also, you can see, like gold-ish, but it's a +3 instead of a +1. That's like perfect for my hand because I already have a crit bonus. I slow with this hand, and crits do additional damage. So you can see like some of this stuff synergizes so well. And I've noticed that you'll tend to get synergistic buffs on each, like on whatever hand that they're applicable for. I don't know if that's just like me noticing them only when they synergize, but this is not the first time I've gotten something like that just really pulls a build all the way together. Blood and renewal, nothing super good. This is blood magic, right? Yeah, we don't want to do that one. The boss is next. I wish there was a heal on this floor, but there isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and do this blood. Anything behind me? You can sometimes hear the demons behind you. They all have like a unique sound, so you can pretty much always hear, like at least if you're familiar with like how each demon sounds, you can hear. How do can I just shoot my way through these? I guess not. But you can hear like the demons and then know like, oh, this is probably like what's near me or like the way I need to move to deal with this. How do I get up here? I guess I just have to jump across, yeah. And then hit this. Boom! That should open everything up. Well, it opened this one up, which I bet the key for the other one is in here somewhere. Whoa, hello! I thought he was gonna die. I took a lot more damage there than I would have liked. I actually might end up leaving before we get to the boss just so I can keep the resources I have. But we'll see. If I play a little more... Okay, so there's 2 keystones in here. If I play a little more... safe, I should be fine even with this amount of health. And I do heal, like whenever you kill an enemy you get like 1 health, and I have that the buff where I heal when I kill enemies 25% of the time. Vampirism, lifesteal chance, here we go. Speaking of, Or I could get a haste +3, which makes me insanely fast. That actually might be too fast. Chance to steal life when they hit. Yep. My right hand is my most damaging hand, so we'll continue on. I'll take, I think, we'll do a renewal path. There really isn't like a difference in difficulty between the paths. At least not that I've noticed. Like, it's not like luck paths are easier than renewal paths. Like I said, not in any way that I've noticed. And I want to go. I hope I don't like dead end myself. I'm just trying to loop these enemies. What's following me? But you can kind of see the like Doom-esque. Yeah, there we go. There's something like the looping that you can do with enemies. You can just kind of like run around in circles, which is like the staple of like movement in the Doom games. Just like finding a circuitous path that you can follow to kill, you know, everything. Ooh, hello. Yeah, I think if I had taken that haste, I'd be moving way too fast. Wow, 4 keystones in this one. I think this is the first time I've seen more than 3. There's one over here. Some of the tracks, you actually use pentagrams in the sound waves. Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't seen them, but I've heard that he did some stuff like that, which is amazing. I love that. It's so appropriate for Doom. Oh, I did get all the modes. Sorry. I just noticed that this was the last keystone, so I wanted to make sure I had everything before I left. Go ahead and get our upgrade. Curse, projectiles can pierce. Reduce all incoming damage, that is what I need. Again, we're on like, maybe not last limb, but definitely not as healthy as I would like, unfortunately. Boost pad dose. I want to go ahead and take you out, these long range enemies. Whoa, hello. Where's that boost pad? Woo. Not exactly what I wanted to see, but we did it. Doom is a game that's hard to hate. Yes, I agree. I mean, it's just Doom is one of those games where like is unapologetically, you know, what it is. Like if you're playing Doom, like you're there to play like a mindless gore fest shooter, which is fine. Like if that's what you want, that's what Doom is, and it does it really well. It doesn't try to be something that's not. For the most part, I have heard people complain about the like amount of platforming that's in. How do I get up here? Is there? Pretty sure I have to take this bounce pad here. It's just a weird angle. I have heard people complain about like the amount of platforming that's in Doom, and I get that. It does feel a little out of place. I think it's fine. Like the original Doom games had platforming too. Like some of the swamp areas you have to platform over like pools of lava or fall to your death. Like it's not something new to the Doom games. That's all the modes. Oh, hello, bud. It's just different, right? Because it's like a full 3D game where they can do like proper platforming in it compared to the other games where it's just kind of like all you had was a jump, really, for all of your platforming needs. Pierce or slow. I'm gonna reset this. None of these are that good. The haste again. Whoa, look at that. This is why I like to get the luck modes where I have 44. I'm 2 plus 3s. Definitely gonna take the extra damage. It's gonna be really nice. We have one more room. I'll see where I am at the end of this room. The boss for this dungeon isn't super hard. I would like to show them off, but I do also want to keep these resources that I have. I think we can do the boss, though. I don't think it'll be... Whoa, maybe not. Actually, that did a ton of damage. So this game, just like Doom, has the skulls just fly at you and explode. They're super annoying. Oh! Never mind. We'll probably die like immediately if I try to take the boss on. Like, they're not super difficult, but I did take, you know, some damage. 11. Yeah, look at these. I hate these things. They die really easy, just like in Doom, but I think it did like 30 damage to me. I hate this. These like super ranged enemies. Please stop. Please go away. I was not playing as safe as I should have. I definitely paid the price. I don't think anything will kill me in one hit right now. Whoa. But I was just about to say, I don't think anything will kill me in one hit, but we're definitely playing on the end of our life there. As you can see, cheat life or cheat death activated. So if you have the required number of blood motes, so it was 10. Every time you use cheat death, it goes up, so it's 15 right now. But you can keep doing. Oh God. You can keep doing that as needed to like continue on with your run. Some of these like tighter areas are really getting me. And I guess it does activate automatically. I've only done, I did my first run, which I died pretty much immediately, just because I wasn't used to anything in the game. My build came out really weird. More vampirism. I don't think this like really matters. That was the last room. 50 HP for the boss. Let's do it. Why not? Couldn't hurt. Take on the dungeon heart. But I guess that's why I didn't know how to activate it, just because I guess I didn't have enough blood shards or whatever. And this is literally just like, let's see if I can open this. Just a boss fight. You come in, boom, there's a boss. So I think once this guy gets down to about half HP, he'll actually freeze the area, and then he'll summon adds that you have to deal with. You actually have to kill all of the adds in order to damage the boss again. Pretty classic loop here. Of all those guys with the bleed. We'll do this now, and like I said, this boss isn't too difficult. It's mostly just running in a big circle, kind of how most Doom bosses are, just looping as necessary to take out adds or whatnot, and then he comes back. But I have like a pretty solid, like run in a circle, shoot left hand, shoot right hand. Hasn't failed me yet. And that is the Pit Guardian for the first area. Like I said, this Pit Guardian is generally pretty easy. That was my second time fighting them, and I actually ended up with more health Then I went in with, found evidence of the Alderman's passage within this realm. He has no need for the pit or the grimoire. He surpassed him. He seeks to undo their power over all of us. And the story is also kind of like, normally there's a villager right here, but I get 2 chests, which is nice. The story is kind of like Doom 2016, right, where that one chick, I forget her name, but she wants to unlock like the hell powers for like her own benefit, but it ends up turning her crazy. I don't know if that's how this story is gonna go, but it's kind of, you can see right here. I am beyond you, Outlander. This is the same thing that they said to me last time. They're basically just like, I'm the strongest boy. But actually that is where I'm going to leave it. So you beat the world, you come back to the like hub world, and for me, because I have the right stuff, I can buy a key for the next area. So I could have gone to Fungal Hollows. I got one for the Corroded Docks, but you can see like they were both the same amount, 20 gold, 20 these are embers, I think, or motes of fire. But also they have a villager requirement, so these all cost 12, and then 30 is the last one for the area. But that's it. Pretty fun little game. I definitely like it. The art style, especially for this hub world, is so like gothic and like dark, atmospheric. I think it's really cool. But if you're watching this on YouTube, that is going to be it for this video. Definitely check out Into the Pits. The link for the game is going to be in the description as always. And have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are.